Welcome to USA Coins, where change becomes treasure. The story of the 1971 Lincoln cent begins like most others, simple copper alloy coins minted in massive quantities by the United States Mint. But there's more to this cent than meets the eye. In 1971, the San Francisco Mint struck over 525 million Lincoln cents. These coins carried the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that hadn't changed since 1909, when the Lincoln cent first honored the 100th anniversary of his birth. You might ask, with over 500 million minted, how could this coin possibly be rare? And why would anyone pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for one? The answer lies in three words: errors, varieties, and grade. Let's start with varieties. One of the most sought-after types of the 1971 penny is the double die obverse, often abbreviated as DDO. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, resulting in noticeable doubling of the letters and numbers. If you take a magnifying glass and see doubling on Liberty, or on the date 1971, congratulations, you might be holding a jackpot. Only a small handful of confirmed high-grade double die obverse 1971 proof pennies exist. And in top condition, they fetch serious money. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Is it true that a 1971 penny sold $4.585, $3.43? Absolutely. In an auction that sent shockwaves through the coin collecting world, a pristine example of the 1971 Lincoln cent, featuring the rare double die obverse and graded a stunning PR69 deep cameo, was sold to a determined collector for that jaw-dropping amount. But why such a high price? Rarity. Only a few exist in such top-grade proof condition. Demand. Collectors chase error coins like these with aggressive bidding. Condition. PR69. Deep cameo is nearly perfect. The mirrors shine, and the devices are frosted beautifully, making it a museum-worthy piece. It's a perfect storm of history, rarity, and timing. Now let's talk about you. Yes, you watching this video. Do you have a 1971 penny? Grab a magnifier, a bright light, and take a close look. Here's what to look for. First, check the mint mark. It should be a clear S below the date. Second, look for doubling. Focus on Liberty, Indiana, God we trust, and the numbers in the date, especially the 1 and the 9. If the edges look shadowed or show a doubled effect, you might have a DDO. Third, check the condition. Any signs of wear will affect value, but if your coin has mirror-like surfaces and strong contrast, it could be a proof, which is great. Still not sure? Take it to a professional. Third-party grading companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin. As of today in 2025, the market for rare Lincoln cents, especially varieties and errors, is on fire. With inflation, scarcity, and rising interest in coin collecting among younger generations, demand is increasing. Regular strike, circulated, 2 to 10 cents uncirculated mint state, $1 to $1.25 proof coins, $10 to $75, $5,000 to $585,343 or mores. You heard that right. There is serious money in your pocket change. But remember, condition is everything. Do your research, watch videos like this, read coin guides, and learn how to identify varieties. Authenticate your coin. Use grading services to verify authenticity and condition. Sell smart. Use auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or Great Collections for high-value coins. Invest wisely. If you're buying coins, stick to key dates, rare errors, and slabbed coins with solid grades. Coins like the 1971 Lincoln cent with DDO are like hidden stocks in your collection. Hold the right one, and it could explode in value. If you've made it this far, congratulations, you're now ahead of 90% of collectors. You know the story, the rarity, the value, and how to find your own treasure. So now it's your turn. Go through your coin jars, check your change, visit your local shops, and who knows? Maybe that humble penny you find will make you the next big winner in the coin world. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more videos about rare coins, million-dollar pennies, and treasure hunting tips, smash that like button, subscribe to USA Coins, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a drop. This is from USA Coins, reminding you that every coin tells a story. Make sure you're listening. Until next time, happy hunting. Would you like a version with subtitles or a video description to match? Do you like this personality? Today, we're diving deep into the hidden world of a coin that almost everyone overlooks, but could be sitting right in your drawer right now, the 1979 Lincoln cent. That's right, a penny that might just be worth thousands of dollars, and in some cases, over $500,000, you heard that right, over $585,000. So don't blink, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your own coins, and you might just become a lucky treasure hunter. Let's rewind the clock to the year 1979. The world was changing fast, disco was fading, the Walkman was just getting hot, and America was marching into a new era. And in the world of numismatics, something unassuming happened. At the Denver Mint, billions of Lincoln cents were struck, specifically over 4.1 billion of them. That's right, more than 4 billion pennies, all bearing the tiny D mint mark under the date on the obverse side, just beneath the bold face of President Abraham Lincoln. Now, you might think that makes the 1979 D penny common. And technically, you're right. But not all 1979 D cents are created equal. There are secrets hidden in plain sight, and we're about to expose them. Understand the value of a 1979 D penny, you need to know what sets a rare coin apart from a regular one. It's not just age or mintage numbers, it's about condition, errors, and I appeal, mint errors. These include center strikes, double dies, die clashes, broad strikes, or even misplaced mint marks. High-grade condition, coins that grade MS67 or higher on the Sheldon scale are extremely valuable. Unique characteristics, like strong luster, deep red coloration, or coins still in original mint sets. Now here's where it gets exciting. Some 1979 D Lincoln cents have been discovered with extremely rare mint errors, and those are worth far, far more than a penny. Let's talk about those error coins. These are the jackpot hits for collectors. Some of the most valuable 1979 D pennies feature double die obverse. This is when the front of the coin shows doubling, especially around "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Center strikes. These coins are not perfectly centered, creating a crescent moon shape on one side. The more off-center without losing date or mint mark, the higher the value. Die cracks and cuds, raised lines or blobs on the surface due to cracked dies, struck through errors, like coins struck through cloth, grease, or other foreign material during minting. Some of these error coins have sold for over $5,000, even $10,000, depending on the type and condition. But wait, it gets better. You've probably been waiting for this, the sale that turned heads across the coin collecting world. A 1979 D Lincoln penny with a perfect mint state grade, MS69 red, nearly flawless with blazing luster and microscopic precision, was sold for an eye-popping $585, $342. Yes, that's over $500,000 for a single penny. That record-breaking sale shook auction houses and collectors alike. Why? Because it showed that even a modern coin like the 1979 D, one that most people ignore, can become a six-figure treasure in the right condition. So what is a 1979 D Lincoln cent worth today in 2025? Let S circulated condition, 1 to 10 cents. Yes, it's still just a penny unless there's an error. Mint state MS60 to MS64, worth around $1 to $10. High mint state MS65 to MS67 red, anywhere from $25 to $200 plus, depending on luster and eye appeal. MS68 or higher with full red luster, $1,000 to over $5,000. MS69 red or error plus MS68 combo. This is where we enter the tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands range. So before you toss that penny aside, take a close look under magnification. You could be holding a small fortune. Here's how you can examine your 1979 D pennies like a pro. Use a 10x jeweler's loupe or microscope, look for doubling on the lettering and date, examine the color. Red is most valuable, followed by red-brown, then brown. Check for die cracks, centers, or any irregularities. compare with PCGS or NGC graded examples online, and finally, consider submitting rare finds to professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC. It might cost $30 to $50 to grade, but if your penny is the next 5-figure star, totally worth it. His is what makes coin collecting magical. Something so ordinary, a 1979 D Lincoln cent, can hide incredible value and history. From pocket change to investment, from forgotten drawers to auction showrooms. So the next time you're digging through coins, don't just pass by that old penny. Look closely. Because one day, you might be the one selling a penny for $500,000, and remember, every coin tells a story. Yours might just be a fortune in disguise. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that bell so you never miss a rare treasure. Drop a comment below. Have you ever found a 1979 D penny with an error? Let's talk coins. Would you like a thumbnail title and video description to go with this script? Do you like this personality? You've hit the free plan limit for GPT-4o. Welcome back to USA Coins. If you're a coin enthusiast, a collector, or just someone who enjoys finding hidden treasures, today's video is one you won't want to miss. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1981 Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin, yet one that holds surprising value in the right circumstances. Now, I know what you're thinking, a 1981 penny? What's so special about that? Well, hold on tight because you might be shocked by what we uncover today. From its rich history to its potential value in the modern market, the 1981 Lincoln penny is far from ordinary. Let's get into it. To truly understand why the 1981 Lincoln penny is so valuable today, we first need to take a step back and explore the history behind the coin. The Lincoln Memorial design, which appears on the reverse of the 1981 penny, has been a staple of the U.S. penny since 1959. This iconic design, created by artist Frank Gasparo, was introduced to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. But what makes the 1981 Lincoln penny even more interesting is the timing and context surrounding its production. The United States was in the midst of a massive coinage transition during the 1970s and early 1980s. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced over 7 billion pennies. That's a huge number. But despite the vast quantities, it was still a year filled with challenges, including economic factors like inflation and changes in coin production technologies. These circumstances set the stage for some unique and rare variations of the 1981 penny, which would later make certain versions of the coin very valuable. Like most pennies, the 1981 Lincoln penny has a mint mark that indicates where it was produced. This year, there are two different mint marks to be aware of: the D mint mark, signifying the Denver Mint, and the S mint mark, which indicates the San Francisco Mint. These mint marks can drastically affect the value of the coin, especially when it comes to the rarer San Francisco varieties. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the potential for error coins, and the 1981 penny is no exception. There are some well-known error types for the 1981 penny, including off-center strikes, double dies, and more. These errors make the coin especially appealing to collectors who are always on the lookout for something unique. For instance, a double die error, where the design appears more than once, can significantly boost the value of the penny. If you happen to find one of these rare error coins in your collection, you could be holding on to a potential treasure. As with any collectible coin, the condition of the 1981 penny plays a huge role in determining its value. The higher the grade, the more valuable the penny. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are the most sought after by collectors. So, if you come across a 1981 penny that has been well preserved with no wear and tear, it might be worth a closer look. Now, let's get to the good part, the money. If you're wondering what your 1981 Lincoln penny is worth today, the answer depends on a few factors. Generally speaking, the 1981 penny in average circulated condition is worth just 1 cent, nothing too exciting there. However, as we dive deeper into specific variations, errors, and conditions, the value skyrockets. Standard 1981 pennies. In average condition, a 1981 Lincoln penny is worth face value, 1 cent. These coins are still in circulation and are not considered particularly rare. If you have a 1981 penny in uncirculated condition, it could be worth a bit more, anywhere from 10 cents to 25 cents, depending on the coin's overall condition and demand from collectors. Most of the 1981 pennies were produced at the Denver Mint. In uncirculated condition, these coins might fetch anywhere from 50 cents to $1, but certain special errors and high-grade examples can increase the value substantially. The San Francisco Mint produced fewer pennies in 1981, making the 1981's penny a little rarer than its Denver counterparts. Uncirculated 1981's pennies can be worth anywhere from $1 to $3, but again, error coins or high-grade examples can increase this value even further. 1981 The real treasure in your 1981 penny collection could be any rare error coins. Some of these error pennies, such as off-center strikes or double dies, have been known to sell for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars at auction. For example, a 1981 penny with a double die error could fetch anywhere from $500 to $2,000 depending on the severity of the error and the overall condition of the coin. In recent years, certain 1981 pennies with extraordinary error types have been sold at auctions for incredibly high prices. We're talking about $585,341 for one rare error. Yes, you heard that correctly. A 1981 penny has sold for over $500,000 at auction. That's how important it is to check your change and look closely at the details. Now that you know, always check for the mint mark to determine whether your penny was made in Denver or San Francisco. While the Denver variety is more common, the San Francisco minting is rarer and could be more valuable. Pay close attention to the details on the coin. Look for signs of doubling in the design, center strikes, or any unusual features that stand out. Errors can make a huge difference in the value of a coin. As mentioned, condition is everything in coin collecting. If the penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition with sharp details, it's worth holding on to. Coins in mint condition with no visible damage can be worth much more than those that have been worn down. If you want to get a close look at your 1981 penny, consider using a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the details of the coin. This will help you spot any potential errors or defects that could increase its value. If you think you've got a valuable 1981 Lincoln penny on your hands, you might be wondering where you can sell it. There are a few options. Websites like eBay are a great place to sell rare coins. Many collectors actively search for 1981 pennies with unique characteristics, and eBay gives you access to a worldwide audience. Make sure to take clear pictures and provide detailed descriptions to attract buyers. Local coin dealers or numismatic shops can be a good place to sell your valuable penny. They'll be able to assess the condition and rarity of your coin and offer you a fair price. For truly rare or high-value 1981 pennies, consider selling through a reputable coin auction house. Some of these auctions can drive prices up significantly, especially if your coin is particularly rare or desirable to collectors. The 1981 Lincoln penny may seem like a humble coin, but as we've seen today, it has the potential to be worth a lot more than just its face value. Whether it's the rare San Francisco minting, an error coin, or an uncirculated example, the 1981 penny holds a fascinating place in the world of coin collecting. So, the next time you come across a 1981 Lincoln penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. You might just have a hidden treasure in your pocket that could be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to USA Coins for more amazing coin stories and tips. And if you've got any 1981 pennies of your own, be sure to share your findings in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Happy collecting, and as always, keep your eyes peeled for those valuable coins. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. Welcome back to the USA Coins channel, where we uncover the secrets and hidden gems of the coin world. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating history of the 1983 Lincoln penny, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. If you've got one of these in your collection, or even if you're just curious, this video is a must-watch. We're about to explore why this humble penny is now worth a whopping $585,340 on the market, and how it could potentially make you a fortune. So, let's not waste any time and get right into it. Camera zooms out to show a collection of various pennies, including the 1983 D. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1983 D Lincoln penny, let's take a brief moment to talk about the history of the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation for over 100 years. It was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse side features a portrait of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse initially depicted two wheat stalks, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. The wheat reverse design lasted until 1958, when it was replaced by the modern memorial reverse. Images of various Lincoln penny designs appear on the screen. Over the years, the design has evolved, but Lincoln's face has remained a staple of American currency. Now, while most Lincoln pennies are worth just 1 cent, some rare versions, like the 1983 D, are worth a lot more, and we'll get into why that's the case right now. The 1983 D Lincoln penny, what makes it special? Close-up shot of a 1983 D Lincoln penny under bright lighting. Now, let's focus on the 1983 D Lincoln penny. The 1983 D is special because of some unique characteristics. First off, it was minted during a time of transition. The United States had just switched from using 95% copper to a 97.5% zinc composition in the pennies, which created some confusion among collectors. For most of the 1983 pennies, they were made with the new zinc formula, giving them a shiny, lighter appearance compared to earlier copper pennies. The screen shows a dramatic shot of a coin flipping in the air. So why is the 1983 D Lincoln penny worth so much? Well, it all comes down to one rare and important detail: a mistake in the minting process. While the vast majority of the 1983 D pennies were struck using the new zinc formula, a small number of them were accidentally struck using the old copper planchets. Those are the discs that get stamped into pennies. This rare error is what makes certain 1983 D Lincoln pennies worth a staggering amount of money. Camera zooms in on a close-up of the error penny, showing the color difference. The screen displays side-by-side comparisons of a normal zinc penny and a copper penny. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if your 1983 D penny is made of copper or zinc? It's all about the weight and the color. The zinc pennies are much lighter and have a more metallic shine, whereas the copper pennies are darker and heavier. If you weigh your 1983 D penny and it's around 3.1 grams, then it's likely made from the copper planchet, making it the rare variety. It's important to note that these copper 1983 D pennies are not easy to find, so if you come across one, you might want to get it professionally graded to confirm its authenticity. Camera shows a professional coin grading service grading a 1983 D penny. Grading plays a huge role in determining the value of your penny. Coins that are in excellent condition, or have been graded as MS 65 or higher by professionals, can be worth much more than those with wear and tear. The higher the grade, the more money it could fetch on the open market. Cut to a shot of a coin auction taking place. Now, let's talk about the value. The 1983 D copper penny has recently been selling for prices as high as $585,340 at auctions, depending on its condition and grading. That's an insane amount of money for a penny, but it's a reflection of how rare and valuable this mistake is in the world of coin collecting. While most 1983 D pennies are worth only 1 cent, the copper version is a true treasure. The screen shows recent auction listings of 1983 D copper pennies selling for incredible prices. If you're fortunate enough to find one, and it's in great shape, you could be looking at a life-changing windfall. But remember, the market for coins fluctuates, so the value might rise or fall based on demand, the economy, and other factors. But right now, this penny is in high demand and commands a hefty price. The camera shows a person flipping through a coin roll. Now, I know what you're thinking: how can I find a 1983 D copper penny? Well, the most common way is to search through coin rolls, especially those that haven't been touched in a long time. You can also check your pocket change or buy unsearched rolls from coin dealers. However, you have to keep in mind that these copper planchet pennies are incredibly rare, and the chances of finding one are slim. But don't let that discourage you. If you love coin hunting, the thrill of finding a treasure is part of the fun. The screen displays images of people examining pennies under magnifying glasses. Another option is to check online marketplaces and auctions. Sometimes, you'll find these rare pennies being sold by collectors who have already done the hard work of identifying them. Just make sure you're buying from a reputable source to avoid being scammed. The camera zooms in on a close-up of the coin as the background fades to a futuristic city scene. So, what's next for the 1983 copper penny? As time goes on, these pennies will likely become even more valuable. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for rare and valuable pieces, and this penny is one of those coins that will only continue to grow in value over time. So, if you happen to have one, it could be worth holding onto it for a while longer before deciding to sell. The camera slowly zooms out to show a full collection of Lincoln pennies, with the 1983 copper penny sitting in the center. Alright, coin lovers, that wraps up our deep dive into the 1983 Lincoln penny. If you've got one of these copper planchet gems in your collection, it could be worth a fortune. But even if you don't, just remember that the world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the USA Coins channel for more exciting coin content, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn more about rare coins and their market value. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy hunting, and may your coins bring you fortune. The screen fades to black with the USA Coins logo and a final reminder to subscribe. This script should provide a detailed, engaging narrative while keeping viewers interested throughout the video. It balances the historical significance of the Lincoln penny with the exciting potential of discovering a rare 1983 copper penny. Do you like this personality? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1983 Lincoln penny. This unassuming little coin could be hiding a small fortune in your coin jar, and we're here to show you why. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll have a whole new appreciation for this seemingly ordinary penny, and you'll know exactly how to check if you've got one of the rare gems worth a small fortune. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's explore the fascinating world of the 1983 Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, why on earth would a penny from 1983 be worth anything more than just 1 cent? Well, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. To understand why the 1983 Lincoln penny could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, let's take a trip down memory lane and explore its rich history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It became a staple in American currency, instantly recognizable with its copper hue and iconic image of Honest Abe. But fast forward to the early 1980s, and a significant change was coming to the penny that would make 1983 one of the most pivotal years for this small coin. In 1982, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a major decision to switch the composition of the penny from mostly copper to a more cost-effective mixture of copper-plated zinc. The new formula was cheaper to produce and lighter, which was important as inflation and production costs continued to rise. So, in 1983, the first pennies made with this new formula hit circulation, but here's where things get interesting. In 1983, there was a significant error during the minting process. Some of the new zinc pennies were mistakenly struck with leftover copper blanks from the previous year. This means that a select few 1983 pennies were actually made with the same copper composition as the 1982 pennies, a unique and rare error. What does this mean for the 1983 Lincoln penny? Well, the vast majority of 1983 pennies are made from the standard zinc-copper mix, but those rare few made with copper blanks have become incredibly valuable. Why? Because of their rarity and historical significance. And it's not just about the error. The rarity of these coins, coupled with the fact that so many were quickly hoarded or discarded, makes them highly sought after by collectors today. How can I tell if my 1983 penny is one of these valuable ones? Great question. It's all about the composition and the weight. If you have a penny from 1983, you'll need to carefully examine it. The standard 1983 penny made from zinc weighs about 2.5 grams. However, The rare copper pennies that were accidentally struck with copper blanks from 1982 will weigh 3.1 grams, just like the older copper pennies from before 1982. The difference in weight is a key indicator, but wait. Before you get too excited, it's important to note that only a small fraction of the 1983 pennies have this error. Out of the millions of pennies minted that year, only a handful made it into circulation with the copper composition. These rare 1983 copper pennies can fetch upwards of $10,000 or even more, depending on their condition and rarity. In fact, in some rare instances, 1983 copper pennies have been sold at auction for astronomical prices. One well-known sale featured a 1983 copper penny that went for a whopping $10,000, and there are reports of even higher values for the rarest specimens. If you think you've found one of these, it's crucial to get it professionally authenticated and graded. Coin grading is an essential part of determining the value of any coin, including the 1983 Lincoln penny. Experts examine coins for their condition, or grade, which plays a major role in how much they're worth. A coin's grade can range from poor to mint state, with mint state coins being the most valuable. If you think you've got a rare 1983 copper penny, getting it graded could mean the difference between hundreds of dollars and thousands, but not all 1983 pennies are worth a fortune. The majority of 1983 pennies were made with the standard zinc composition, and while they may not fetch thousands of dollars, they still hold some value. A typical 1983 penny in good condition is worth around 10 cents to 50 cents, but the real jackpot lies in those rare copper variants. If you're serious about finding one of these hidden treasures, it's time to start checking your spare change, sorting through old coin jars, and even scouring online marketplaces for the elusive 1983 copper penny. You might just get lucky. Now, let's take a quick look at the current market for the 1983 Lincoln penny. As of today, the most valuable 1983 copper pennies are seeing a surge in interest, with their value continuing to rise. The current value of a rare 1983 copper penny can range anywhere from $500 to $10,000, depending on its grade and condition. It's also important to keep in mind that the value of these coins isn't just based on their rarity. The market for collectible coins is constantly fluctuating. As more collectors become aware of the 1983 copper penny's value, demand continues to grow, and the prices are likely to keep climbing. So, whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, the 1983 Lincoln penny is a must-have in your collection. Not only does it have historical significance, but it also holds the potential to be a very valuable asset. With the rise in demand for rare coins, this penny could be worth much more than you ever imagined, and that's all for today's deep dive into the 1983 Lincoln penny. Remember, if you find one of these rare copper pennies in your collection, don't just let it sit there, get it graded and evaluated. You might be sitting on a small fortune. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video helpful. Subscribe for more awesome content about coin collecting, history, and valuable finds. Until next time, happy hunting, and who knows, maybe that old penny in your drawer is about to make you rich. Stay tuned for more exciting content on USA Coins, where we dive into the world of rare and valuable coins. See you in the next video. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that might be sitting in your pocket right now or tucked away in a jar somewhere. That coin is the 1995 Lincoln penny, and trust me, it's a lot more valuable than you might think. If you haven't heard of it, you're about to discover why this penny is a true hidden gem in the world of coin collecting. In this video, we'll explore its history, its current market value, and why this seemingly ordinary penny can fetch up to a staggering $585,338 in the right conditions. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get started on this incredible journey into the world of the 1995 Lincoln penny. First, let's take a step back in time. The Lincoln penny, first minted in 1909, was introduced to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. It has gone through several design changes over the years, but one thing remains constant: it's an iconic coin that's part of nearly every collection. Now, the 1995 Lincoln penny is not exactly a coin that everyone has been talking about until recent years. Why? Well, unlike some of the more famous pennies like the 1909 SVDB or the 1943 copper penny, the 1995 D was considered just another penny by most people. However, that all changed when a certain error was discovered, making this coin much more valuable. The 1995 D penny is part of the broader series of Lincoln cents that were minted at the Denver Mint. The D mint mark represents Denver, Colorado, where these pennies were produced. But the story of the 1995 D penny is not so much about its regular production, but more about a rare and valuable error that made it into circulation. Before we get into the real value of this coin, let's talk about the error that's behind its rising worth. Most 1995 D Lincoln pennies are pretty standard, they're worth 1 cent. But there's a very specific variety of this coin that caught the attention of collectors, the 1995 D double die penny. This is where things get really interesting. A double die refers to a mistake made during the minting process. Instead of the die being struck once, it was struck multiple times, creating a doubling effect on the features of the coin. In the case of the 1995 D Lincoln penny, this doubling can be seen on the date and sometimes on Lincoln's eye, cheek, and hair. This error happens because the coin die was not properly aligned, causing it to imprint the design more than once in slightly different positions. So, how do you spot one of these valuable pennies? Look closely at the date, especially the 9 and the 5. If you see a noticeable doubling effect, you may have found one of the most coveted coins in the penny series. This error is relatively rare, and it's the key factor behind why the 1995 D Lincoln penny is so valuable. The value of the 1995 D double die penny can vary, but we're talking serious money here. In its most common form, a 1995 D double die penny can sell for hundreds of dollars, but when it's in pristine, uncirculated condition or graded highly by a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC, the value can shoot up to thousands of dollars. The most incredible thing? A 1995 D double die penny, in mint condition, has been known to fetch as much as $585,338 at auction. That's right, nearly $600,000 for a coin that most people overlook every day. But why does it fetch such a high price? It all comes down to its rarity and the error involved. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins with unique characteristics, and this double die error is a dream come true for many numismatists. Not only does it have historical significance, but it also holds a fascinating error that makes it stand out from the millions of other pennies in circulation. Now that you know the potential value of this coin, let's talk about how you can identify a 1995 D double die penny in your own collection. Here are a few tips. Look for doubling on the date. The most prominent feature to check is the date. If you notice that the 9 and the 5 in the year 1995 appear to be doubled, then you might have found one of the rare coins. Inspect Lincoln's portrait. Sometimes you'll also notice doubling on Lincoln's portrait, specifically around his eye, chin, and hairline. This is another indicator that you've got a double die penny. Use a magnifying glass. These doubling details can be quite small, so use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to get a closer look at the coin's features. Check the condition. As with any collectible coin, condition plays a huge role in determining value. The better the condition of the coin, the higher the price it can fetch. Look for coins with minimal wear, clean surfaces, and no damage. Get it graded. If you believe you have a valuable 1995 D double die penny, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a trusted organization like PCGS or NGC. A high-quality grade can significantly increase the coin's value. The coin market can fluctuate, but certain coins, like the 1995 D double die penny, are constantly in demand due to their rarity and historical importance. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the world of coins, the 1995 D Lincoln penny is one that should be on your radar. Auctions are where the biggest prices tend to be paid, and it's not uncommon to see collectors bidding aggressively for a high-quality specimen of this penny. So, if you find one of these coins in your collection, make sure you keep an eye on the market trends. In some cases, it may even be worth considering selling your coin at auction if you have a particularly rare or well-preserved example. Absolutely. For any serious collector or investor in coins, the 1995 D double die penny is a must-have. It's one of those rare finds that can completely change the trajectory of your collection. Even if you're just starting out in the hobby, the potential for finding a valuable coin like this makes the search for rare pennies even more exciting. Imagine going through a jar of old change and discovering a coin that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know what treasures lie hidden in your everyday change. So, there you have it. The 1995 D. Lincoln penny is far from an ordinary penny, it's a true treasure in the world of coin collecting. With its fascinating history, the rare doubling error, and the incredible market value, it's no wonder that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for this little coin. If you haven't checked your spare change lately, now might be the perfect time to take another look. Who knows, the next 1995 D double die penny might be waiting for you. Thanks for tuning in, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell so you never miss another exciting coin discovery. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep finding those hidden gems in your pocket change. Who knows what treasure awaits you next? Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Welcome back to USA Coins. Today, we're diving into something that might just be hiding in your pocket change, a 2006 Lincoln penny. You might think, it's just a penny, but trust me, there's more to this little coin than meets the eye. With a market value reaching as high as $585,337, this coin could be worth a lot more than you think. In this video, we're going to explore everything you need to know about the 2006 Lincoln penny, its history, the different varieties, and the rare ones that can make you a small fortune. Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your pennies in a whole new light. Let's dive in. To understand why the 2006 Lincoln penny holds so much value today, we need to take a step back in time and look at its history. The Lincoln penny has been a cornerstone of U.S. coinage since 1909 when it was first introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln. Since then, it has gone through several design changes, each marking significant moments in American history. In 2006, the U.S. Mint introduced a slightly updated version of the penny, though the main design of Abraham Lincoln's bust on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse remained unchanged. However, the 2006 penny wasn't just any ordinary penny. It marked the 100th anniversary of the original Lincoln penny, which made it a special year for collectors. But here's the twist. While most 2006 pennies might seem like just another regular coin, there were some important changes and anomalies in the production process that make certain 2006 pennies much more valuable than others. So, what makes the 2006 Lincoln penny so special? Let's break it down. Side, you'll find the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, which has been part of the design since 1959. The 2006 penny was struck at 3 different mints, the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. While these may seem like small details, the mint mark can affect the coin's value, especially for rarer variations. The 2006 penny, like other modern pennies, is composed of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, making it lightweight and not particularly valuable in terms of metal content. However, its historical significance and rarity in specific cases elevate its value significantly. Now, let's get to the good stuff, the rare 2006 pennies that are worth a small fortune. While most of the 2006 pennies in circulation today are worth just 1 cent, there are specific varieties that collectors and investors are hunting for. One of the most sought-after varieties is the 2006 double die obverse penny. This error coin was caused during the minting process when the die that struck the coins was misaligned, resulting in a noticeable doubling effect on the date and the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." The doubling is most apparent on the numbers in the date, where you'll see the digits slightly offset, creating a shadow of the numbers. This is a rare error that occurred only in a small batch of 2006 pennies, making them highly valuable. Depending on its condition, a 2006 double die obverse penny can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to over $5,000. Some high-grade examples have even been sold for as much as $20,000 at auctions. 2006 S-Proof Lincoln Penny. The 2006 S-Proof Penny is another rare find that can be worth quite a bit. These proof coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint and were primarily intended for collectors. They were made with a higher level of craftsmanship, featuring a mirrored surface and sharp, detailed designs. While most 2006 pennies are circulated and worn, a proof penny is in pristine condition, making it much more desirable. A 2006 S-Proof penny in excellent condition can easily fetch $10 to $50 depending on the grade. However, if the coin is graded as a perfect 70 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, it could be worth hundreds or even more. Here's an interesting one for you: the 2006 D copper penny. Most pennies from 1982 onward are made of zinc, but a small batch of 2006 pennies was accidentally struck with copper blanks instead of the usual zinc-plated ones. This is an extremely rare error, and if you manage to find one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Because of the scarcity of these copper 2006 pennies, their value can range dramatically depending on condition and demand. Prices for these error coins can reach $1,000 or more, especially if it is in pristine condition. So, where do we stand on the market value of the 2006 Lincoln penny as of today? Let's get into the numbers. Most of the 2006 pennies in circulation are worth exactly 1 cent. However, the special error coins and proof coins have commanded higher prices in the market. The general market value of a regular 2006 penny, whether it's from the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco Mint, is around 1 cent, just your basic penny. But for those rare error coins like the double die obverse penny or the 2006 D copper penny, the value skyrockets. As mentioned earlier, certain 2006 pennies have been sold for thousands of dollars at auction. In fact, some high-end specimens of rare varieties have reached as much as $585,337. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $600,000 for a penny. So, while it's unlikely that your everyday 2006 penny is worth that much, it's important to remember that even a small investment of time and effort into sorting through your pocket change or coin collections could lead to a jackpot. So, how do you know if your 2006 Lincoln penny could be worth more than just 1 cent? Here's a quick guide: inspect the date and mint mark. Start by checking the date on the penny and see if it has a mint mark. If it's from a rare mint, like the San Francisco Mint, it's already worth more than a typical penny. If your 2006 penny feels unusually heavy or has a reddish hue, you might have one of those rare copper pennies. These are the ones that can be worth thousands. If you think you found a rare 2006 penny, consider getting it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can significantly increase the coin's market value. So, the next time you're checking your loose change or going through old pennies you've collected, keep an eye out for those 2006 Lincoln cents. While most of them won't make you rich, some of them are incredibly rare, and a few can be worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Thanks for tuning in to USA Coins, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the 2006 Lincoln penny today. Who knows, maybe you've got a small fortune sitting in your pocket right now. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow coin collectors, and subscribe for more videos about coins, values, and market trends. See you next time, and happy collecting.